Overview of the divorce process for defendants. Getting a divorce is a process with many steps and can take several months. Michigan Legal Help can help you at every step along the way. Here is a bird's-eye view of the whole process. When your spouse files for divorce, you are the defendant and your spouse is the plaintiff. If you and your spouse have minor children together, it will be at least 6 months before the divorce can be finalized. If you do not have minor children, there is a 60-day waiting period. The timeline starts when your spouse files the complaint for divorce. The issues to be decided in your divorce include dividing your property and debt and maybe spousal support. If you have children, the issues also include custody, parenting time, and child support. You and your spouse may be required to meet with someone from the front of the court to see if you can agree on things like custody and parenting time. The front of the court helps the judge make decisions on these issues. They may also calculate child support for you. When you receive divorce papers, you have 2 options: file an answer or do nothing. To participate in the divorce case, file a form called an answer and mail a copy to your spouse. Your answer is a response to each paragraph of the divorce complaint. You might agree with your spouse on all of the issues in your divorce, or you might disagree on some of the issues. Even if you and your spouse agree on all of the issues, it may be a good idea to file an answer in case disagreements come up later. You can also file a counterclaim, which can help you make sure your divorce goes forward. If you don't file a counterclaim for divorce and your spouse dismisses the case, your divorce case will end. Then, if you still want to get divorced, you will have to start over by filing a new case and paying the filing fee. You can prepare either or both of these forms using the do-it-yourself answer and counterclaim for divorce on the Michigan Legal Help website. There is no charge to file an answer or a counterclaim. If someone personally handed you copies of the divorce papers, you have 21 days to file an answer and mail a copy to your spouse. If you got the papers in the mail, you have 28 days to file and mail the answer. If you do not file an answer by the deadline, the court can enter a default against you. After a default is entered, you'll get copies of everything your spouse files and will be notified of hearings, and you will still get divorced. But the judge will make decisions without your input. You will not be allowed to participate in the case unless you file a motion to have the default set aside and the judge grants your motion. If you file an answer, the next step is a pretrial hearing or settlement conference. You and your spouse will meet with a judge, referee, or other court staff person to talk about whether you agree on all the issues in your divorce. If you do, you and your spouse can sign the judgment of divorce. You will give brief testimony and the judge will sign your judgment. If you and your spouse do not agree on all issues by the pretrial hearing, the judge may order you to go to mediation to try to reach agreement. If you can't agree at mediation, you will return to court for a trial where the judge will decide the issues you and your spouse can't agree on. The trial may be formal or informal, depending on the judge and whether your spouse has a lawyer. If you don't file an answer, you will still get a notice of the final hearing and copies of the judgment of divorce and other papers. You can go to the hearing and sign the papers, or let the judge know you object. However, if you have been defaulted, the judge does not have to consider what you say. After the judge signs the judgment of divorce and it is filed, your divorce is final. You must be given a copy. You may have to take extra steps to divide property and debt after your divorce is final. You can find out more about this on the Michigan Legal Help website. For detailed step-by-step instructions on the divorce process and to prepare an answer and counterclaim, go to the divorce toolkit that is right for you.